Welcome back to the deep dive. We always try to unpack these fascinating ideas, give you that shortcut to being, well, truly informed. And today, we're tackling something we've all heard since, like forever, save your money. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Just squirrel away those pennies and eventually you'll be set. But this piece we're diving into, beyond saving, the path to true wealth, it kind of drops a bombshell. Really stopped me in my tracks. It argues that saving alone, in that traditional way, it won't make you rich. And that's where it gets really interesting, I think. If just saving isn't the answer, what does real financial freedom actually demand? So, our mission today is to really dig into why this source, Beyond Saving, says just saving isn't enough. And more importantly, what will actually build that lasting wealth, according to them. We're going to unpack four pretty crucial principles, ideas that could genuinely reshape how you think about your finances, moving beyond the obvious stuff. Okay, so let's jump right in. Principle number one from Beyond Saving, and it's a biggie because it pushes back against a really common goal. Don't try to get rich quick. Weird. Seems counterintuitive, right? So many people start out looking for that fast track. How does the source really dismantle that idea beyond just saying, it's a scam?
Well, what's really insightful is that it's not just about avoiding the obvious scams like Ponzi schemes or those crazy online promises. It argues against the whole mindset of chasing quick wins. The source says that focusing on getting rich quick, even if it seems legit, it often blinds you to the real power of slow, steady growth, compound growth. It suggests that constantly chasing these secrets, the latest meme stock or flipping houses with no experience or that amazing business idea needing all your cash, it drains your time. And it drains those small bits of capital that could be working for you elsewhere. So it's not just about avoiding bad guys. It's about retraining your brain away from needing that instant hit towards building something durable. Which raises that question, doesn't it? If the fast tracks are dead ends, what's the smarter path?
That's a really key distinction. It's less the scheme, more the psychology. Okay. But the source doesn't just leave us with a warning, it offers a clear alternative. It encourages us to invest your time in learning high value skills that will pay off in the long run. That really fits with our whole deep dive philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Continuous learning. But from the book's view, what counts as a high value skill? And how do you identify and build one for wealth?
Exactly. And the source clarifies. It's not just about getting a better job, although sure, that helps. It's about developing expertise that is scarce, something in demand, something that gives you leverage. Think about skills like, complex problem solving, maybe strategic negotiation, advanced data analysis, really effective sales or specialized coding, even just really strong communication in a leadership role. These are skills that let you earn more or maybe build your own thing, offer services that are hard to automate. The book kind of suggests the best initial investment isn't always stocks, but your own human capital. By putting time into mastering these things, you're not just getting a paycheck, you're building an asset, your own capability. And that asset generates increasing returns over your career. It's a much more stable path than gambling and speculations.
Okay, so you commit to the long game. Invest in yourself, resist the quick fix. Then, beyond saving, pivots to something just as vital, managing the money you're earning. Because earning more isn't enough, right? You need that money working for you. Which brings us to principle two. Spend smarter, not just less. This isn't about extreme frugality just because. It's about intelligent spending.
That's absolutely right. And the source uses some really concrete examples here, like playing the lottery or gambling. It points out the obvious, right? The odds are stacked against you. We all kind of know that. But the book really hammers home the real cost. It's not just the couple of bucks you lost on the ticket. It's the opportunity cost. That money isn't just gone. It's money that could have been earning something for you. Even a tiny bit in an index fund. It says, use the money to invest in other opportunities instead. And what's fascinating is that shift in thinking. Not just saving, but actively deploying money for growth. Otherwise, it's like giving your money a little trip where it probably won't come back instead of putting it to work.
Yeah, that framing really shifts things, active deployment versus passive saving. But for someone maybe struggling with immediate wants or just impulse buys, how does the book suggest making that mental jump from, say, buying that lottery ticket or whatever impulse buy to making a strategic investment? What are these other opportunities?
The book really pushes for a conscious look at every dollar. Instead of that money vanishing into a long shot or even just lots of small, unthinking purchases, redirect it. It could mean adding to your 401k, even if it's just like $5 extra a week, it adds up. Or maybe buying a fractional share in a really broad, low-cost index fund.
Yeah.
Gets you market exposure without needing a lot of cash. Or, and this links back, reinvesting in those high-value skills we talked about. buying a relevant book, taking a cheap online course, attending a workshop to boost your earning power. The whole point is making the money work for you in line with those long-term goals, recognizing every dollar is either consumption or a potential asset builder.
Okay, so we've sidestepped the get-rich-quick trap. We're refining spending towards investment. The next logical step is, well, what do we do with these freed up resources? And the source is clear. Invest like your future depends on it, because it does.
Yeah.
It's not just a nice idea. The book frames it as like essential for building wealth, really emphasizes the active, informed part of investing.
Absolutely. And there's a crucial warning here. Know what you're investing in guessing isn't a strategy. Really, this isn't about, throwing darts or following some random influencer's hot stock tip on social media. No, it's about education, understanding. The book talks about how wealthy people approach. They do their homework, understand the basics, grasp the risks involved, learning to read financial statements, maybe understanding market cycles, diversifying properly. The danger of just guessing isn't only losing money, it's losing confidence. Then you might just stop investing altogether, which is counterproductive. But it also gives a very balanced view, which I think is super important. It says, make sure you are not overextending yourself. Either start small, learn, and grow. It's a reminder. Investing is crucial, yes, but reckless investing. That's just another gamble, often a more expensive one.
That balance is really key, isn't it? Enthusiasm tempered with prudence. So it's not saying take a huge risky jump. It's about a disciplined, knowledgeable approach. Okay, for someone feeling maybe overwhelmed by all the complexity of investing, how does Beyond Saving suggest they start small, learn and grow practically? Like, what are the first concrete steps the source might point to?
Yeah, the book is pretty practical there. Starting small often means things like automating contributions into accessible, low-cost options, like, say, a Roth IRA or your 401k. Especially if there's an employer match, that's free money. Learning means setting aside regular time, maybe just 30 minutes a week. Read reputable financial news, understand basic economics, maybe take an intro course on index funds or ETFs. It's about building that foundation, understanding why things perform as they do, not just what they are, and growing. Well, that's not just your portfolio size, it's your knowledge depth. As you understand more, your confidence grows. Then you can make more informed choices, maybe branch out carefully, perhaps into real estate down the line or small business or more specific stocks, but always within your comfort zone and risk tolerance. It's a continuous process, education and action.
Right, which leads us perfectly into the fourth principle. And this feels like it ties everything together. A key habit of wealthy people, according to the source: pay yourself first. Now, the book highlights this isn't just, put money in savings. It's a fundamental change in how your money flows. Okay, let's unpack that. What does paying yourself first really mean here, beyond just saving? And how do the first three principles make it possible?
Yeah, this is where Beyond Saving talks about a real paradigm shift, a total flip. It contrasts the usual way most people operate. You get paid, you spend on liabilities, rent, bills, car payments, etc. And then, if there's anything left, maybe you save or invest it. Wealthy people, the book argues, do it instinctively the other way around. They prioritize buying assets first. And assets here doesn't have to mean huge things immediately. It's anything that puts money in your pocket or grows in value. Investments, yes, but also those skills boosting your income. Liabilities, conversely, take money out. Rent, utilities, sure. But also maybe that daily fancy coffee, the newest gadget, subscriptions you don't use much. So before they spend on those liabilities, they consciously, often automatically, allocate money to buy assets. Then, and only then, do they spend what is left on liabilities. It's proactive, not reactive. It's intentional.
So it's more than setting money aside. It's deliberately sending resources to wealth-building things first, almost like a self-imposed tax for your future. And critically, the source connects this directly to the previous steps. It says, if you follow steps 1, 3, avoiding the quick rich schemes, spending smarter, investing wisely, then you will be in a position to pay yourself first.
It really braids all four principles together. Makes this final step seem like a natural outcome, not just another rule. It's a system.
Precisely. The source is clear. Paying yourself first isn't some magic trick you do in a vacuum. If you're still chasing hot tips or, letting money leak out on things with no return, you won't have anything significant to pay yourself first with, or you won't have the discipline to do it consistently. The first three principles build that foundation. Developing skills to earn more, optimizing spending to free up capital, and then wisely investing that capital. Only then do you really have the surplus and the financial smarts to truly prioritize buying assets first. It turns budgeting from feeling restrictive into, a powerful strategy for building wealth faster. Okay, so let's quickly recap this deep dive into Beyond Saving, the path to true wealth. The core idea seems really clear. Real financial freedom isn't just about saving more money, not just piling it up. It's about a much more active, intentional, and disciplined way to actually build wealth. It requires a real mindset shift.
Exactly. It's a complete financial rethink, moving way beyond just save more. We hit those 4 powerful principles. First, don't chase get-rich-quick dreams. Instead, invest your time learning high-value skills for the long haul. That's your foundation. Second, spend smarter. Redirect money away from low-probability gambles or just unthinking expenses, and channel it into opportunities that actually grow your wealth. Third, invest like your future hinges on it, because it does, but do it with knowledge, not guessing. Start small, learn constantly, grow your understanding, and never overextend yourself. And finally, that capstone habit, pay yourself first. Prioritize buying assets before you spend on liabilities. It's a proactive flow that becomes possible and really powerful once you nail the first 3 steps.
And that brings us back to you, the listener, on your own path towards real financial freedom. This deep dive has shown it's not just about hoarding cash, it's about strategically growing and using your resources. Which leads to, I think, a really important question, building on what the source suggests. If the ultimate goal isn't just more money, but true financial freedom, what's one high-value skill, just one that you could start learning or seriously improving today? Something that could profoundly shift your earning potential and therefore your ability to truly pay yourself first down the road. Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.